All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Imari. I'll be guiding you through your practice today. And I'm super excited to be doing this again. I was doing it during the pandemic on Patreon, but now I'm going to kind of just develop my YouTube and videoing abilities now that I got, equipment and I don't have to work too hard to do the things. So today we're just going to do like a nice beginner flow. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm alone and I have a tripod, so it'll be fine. Just do what you can, leave the rest, like always. And we're actually going to start in a seated position. So find any comfortable seat, Sukhasana or Hero's Pose, Virasana. And find a nice tallness through your spine. You can close your eyes if you want, put your hands where they want to go, and just see what's going on with you. Your body feeling like? Stand from your toes all the way to your head. And if anything, just to get a general awareness of the inner workings of your own body. So that when something does change, then you can feel that or be aware of it. Okay, breathe a little deeper. Not sure if you can hear the waves. They're pretty loud today, but I like it. And once you find a good awareness of your body, just be open to the idea that maybe some of the things that you're feeling in your body aren't related to something physical you've done, but maybe it's something from your heart or your mind. And for the remainder of our practice, kind of just keeping those channels open and building that bridge of communication with your breath. And take 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you'd like, you can keep your eyes closed. Otherwise, gently blink them open. Lift your arms over your head. Take a breath in. Good. On your exhale, twist to the right. Your left hand will go to your right knee. Your other hand will go towards your lower back on the mat or space behind you. And just let your kind of spine do its thing. You don't have to force it. You don't have to pull yourself deeper. And then also relax your belly. Deep breath in. Maybe you turn your chin over your shoulder. And exhale, gently unravel. Arms come back up on the inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand, left knee. Now for me, I'm so used to mirroring that I'm actually doing the opposite of you right now. So my right hand is behind me now. My left hand is on my right knee. So just do the opposite, yeah. And a nice press through your sit bones. And like you're pressing your head into the ceiling also, find a nice lift. Take a breath in. Exhale, unwind to the middle. And then we'll roll over into our tabletop. So meet me on your hands and your knees. Firm into your hands, firm into your knees. Inhale, cow pose, lower your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, cat, curl up into your spine. Tuck your chin really tight. Keep pressing through your hands. Keep pressing through your feet. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Good. A few more rounds on your own. And since we did, check in with ourselves, and maybe up and down isn't working for you, you could also go side to side. Or maybe you take this into some circles. Just go, balanced directions. Maybe none of those work for you. Just do the ones that do. And after, a few more rounds here, we'll meet back in a tabletop. Yeah. Reach your right hand forward. I'll do it the correct way this time. So I'll do right with you. And maybe this feels good for your core or your wrists or your knees or your back. You could totally stay here. You're still going to get the benefit of using your core to stabilize the rest of your body. But maybe you do want to take it up a little bit. First, press into your left hand. Grip into the mat like you're trying to suction cup your palm up. Good. Then slide your left foot back. Maybe you keep your toes down. Maybe you lift your toes up. Now, the goal isn't necessarily getting your leg higher, right? It's keeping the spine pretty neutral. So push outwards with your leg, reach outwards with your arm, and then just the tiniest little lift of your ribs, like a baby cat pose. Good. Maybe this feels good. Check in with where your weight is going. Maybe you're leaning into the hip. Keep it in your hand. Good. Big breath in. Stay or exhale, bird dog, squeeze your elbow and knee underneath you. They don't have to touch, just get them squeezed in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Good, we're just gonna do one more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, tabletop. Good. Take a second, maybe you need a moment. You sit back, you shake out your wrists. When you're ready, come back in, tabletop. Good. Now your left hand reaches forward. Maybe you stay there, take an assessment of the rest of your body. If you're dipping your belly down into a cow pose, right? Find that little bit of lift, baby cat pose. So cat pose, tabletop. Cool. Now, left leg, rather right leg. See, I'm confused because I always do the opposite of my students. But right leg. Yeah, you could stay there or lift it up. Before we start moving, check in with your hand and your knee. Your leg wants to take all the weight. Don't let it have it. Go to the hand, dig into your arm, dig into your shin. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze bird dog. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Just one more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, extend. And exhale, tabletop, hands and knees down. Maybe you need a moment for your wrist or your shoulder. Good. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Step your feet back, lift your hips. I might get pretty loud here just because where the mic is. Don't mind me. Now for me, I'm on a sandy surface, so it's a little bit harder for me to find a good, even pressure, technically. But for you, firm into your hands like you're making that suction cup again, right? Push your arm bones down towards your wrists. You feel your back stretch. Good, and for me right now, I'm just keeping my head lifted because if I drop it, I'm just going to be suffocated by my shirt. But let your head drop. Okay, press back through your feet like you're trying to stretch the mat away from your arms. Take another breath. I'm a little congested, so I can't really inhale through my nose, but you should do it. Exhale through your nose. On your inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, ragdoll. Take however many steps you need to reach your feet behind your wrists. Try to adjust this a little bit. Okay, there we go. I don't want to make too much noise for you. Relax your head heavy. Now, this is the one you really need to do. So maybe you shake your head no. Maybe you shake it yes. Good. Now, the goal here isn't necessarily getting your legs straight. It's just a little bit more gentle way to lengthen and open from the entire back line of your body, heels to head. Maybe you take opposite elbows. This is going to be a good option to get heavier through the upper body. Couple more breaths here. A little colder than I thought, otherwise I would take my sweatshirt off. Gently release your hands. Bring your feet to a comfortable distance for you. And just like we did with our hands, we're going to do with our feet. So, grab into the mat with your toes, like you're picking up little wrappers. Press through your heels. Plug your belly in, and then keep your knees bent. Just slowly unfurl your spine to a stand. Your knees are bent. Plug your belly in. Keep gripping with your toes. And then once you get all the way up, look up. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you take it into a neck circle. Periodically, since I am alone, just going to be checking on the audio. So if you see any weird edits, that's probably what it was. Once you get back, lift your chest, face your palms forward at your sides. Okay. Keep breathing. As you settle into your standing Shavasana here, spend a light press through your feet. So you feel that energy under the soles of your feet, guiding down further into the earth or the mat or whatever you are in, so the energy can rise back up and you feel taller. Now again, just for the remainder of our practice, keep in mind the openness of all the parts of your bodies and how they can connect a little deeper. Because as much as this is a physical practice, it didn't start that way. And it's not only a physical practice. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Your eyes are closed. You can keep them closed or blink them open. Inhale, mountain. Reach your arms over your head. Firm into your feet. Find that press again. Grip with your toes so you feel your arches kind of squeeze up towards your inner knees. Good. And if you notice you have a lot of stuff going on in your back, or maybe it's the opposite way, just find a neutral position for you. We're not taking out any curves of our back. We're just supporting them with the rest of our muscles. Again, for your shoulders, instead of having really good posture like we normally would think, chest forward, shoulders back, we're going to do the opposite. So scoop your arms in and feel your shoulder blades kind of scoop around your heart. Again, reach through your ring fingers. Take a breath in. Exhale forward, fold hands through heart or anywhere, release down, bend your knees a little bit. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands up to your shins, your thighs, or your hips. Now, wherever our hands are, we can find a little pressing motion into the legs so we extend out through the spine. Now, in halfway lift, we actually do want the good, natural, like normal way we think of posture. So push your chest forward, squeeze your shoulders back. Keep a little bend in your knees just to support your hamstrings. Get a big breath in. Exhale, plank pose. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Now, plank, you can always take however you need it. This is the traditional way that you would think a plank is. You can do it on your fists too, or your forearms, or you can do it on your knees. But wherever you are, press into your arms, grip into your fingers, just like we did before. And this is mainly to support our wrists, right? Because we're putting our body weight on our hands right now, which weren't really meant to take any weight. Press back through your legs, lift the bottom of your chest. Okay, take a breath in, push forward, exhale, lower to your belly. However you get there. Now sometimes I don't go really forward past my shoulders, so if you can see, my hands are a little bit more forward than I'd like them. Take your hands towards your mid-ribs and press into the tops of your feet where your shoelaces would be. Guide your hip bones a little more firmly into the mat. And inhale, cobra. Use your back muscles to lift. Maybe you have to take your hands off the mat to make sure, and pin your elbows back and push your elbow tips away from your ears. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Okay. 2 more rounds. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Yeah, now from here, plank or tabletop, push up. Downward facing dog, push back. Great, and we'll just take that into a little flow here. Even though we are physically moving faster, use your breath as this way to kind of slow down time and use your awareness to kind of expand into the fullness of the experience. You're doing the things with your body, you're doing the things with your breath, and you're doing it on purpose. Okay, inhale, bend your knees a little bit. Exhale, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Remember, hands can do anything. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Lower to your belly. Just one time. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up. Yeah, it's okay to make noises sometimes. Exhale, down dog. Again, one more time. Inhale, bend your knees. Maybe you look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend in your knees still. This is going to help your hamstrings and your back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Doing great. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog. Yeah, great. Now for this next portion, we're just going to build a little bit more strength in the legs, the feet, just basically what we've been doing already, just in a slightly different way. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees. Lift your arms, lift your chest. Now for me in chair, just the whole weight to the heels thing. I see the value in it, and it does have its place. But for purposes of mobilizing and healing our bodies, we're going to find the middle of our legs. So not too far back, not too far forward, but right there in the middle where you can kind of lift your toes, you can lift your heels pretty evenly. And maybe you try it at the same time. Toes up, heels up. Okay, everything down now. Grip into the mat with your toes. Press through your legs so you have more of a standing motion rather than a sitting motion, even though we are sitting. Now maybe this is enough for you in your lower back, but check in with the rest. Maybe you can find a little bit more length through the spine, so extend outwards through your arms, not necessarily up, just out. Okay, take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. I like straightening my legs towards the bottom, but everyone's different. Inhale, halfway lift. And listen, exhale, low lunge, step your left leg back so your right leg is in the front of your mat. Inhale, crescent lunge, rise up to a stand. Breathe right here. Good. Now, crescent lunge can be a lot in the hips sometimes, especially if you don't move a lot, or you sit a lot, you drive a lot, etc. Whatever it may be, take a big bend in your back knee. Yeah. Scoop your hips. So if they're back, scoop your hips down. If you have a lot of tightness in your hips already, you don't necessarily need to do that much else. Press into your front leg, so find that standing motion again. Extend up through the sides of your waist, all the way out through your ring fingers. Yeah. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold, hands down, foot forward. Take a moment, maybe you need to shimmy out your knees. Maybe you need to shimmy out your head. Okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge. Now step the right leg back. Good. Squeeze your thighs up. Inhale, crescent lunge, rise up. Now again, just assess how this side is for you. Everyone's different, right and lefts. Just be kind. All right, bend your back knee a little bit. Scoop your hips slightly down, only if your back is really arched. Otherwise, just keep it there. Lift from the bottom of your belly button. Reach through your arms. Now everyone press through your back thigh away from your front. Okay, hug into the right glute. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold, hands down, foot forward. Okay, little shimmy through the legs, only if you need it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose, hands to the mat. Step back. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. All right, so from down dog, we're going to flow a little bit through what we just did there in the chair and the crescents, building on what we've already done. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you try it without hands this time. Oh, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, right leg back. Step a little further back than you think you can go. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, crescent. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Take a breath in, chest forward. Exhale, down dog. Good, one more time. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice steady breathing. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, left leg back. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, fold. Now it's kind of hard to balance on the sand. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, right leg back. Inhale, crescent. Trying to be as methodical as possible. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Good, and then this time we're holding plank. Inhale, shift forward a little bit. Exhale, low plank. Maybe you take it on your knees, lower halfway. Press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, upward dog. Push your chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Now we've moved a little bit. We've breathed a little bit. Drop to your knees. Have a seat. Grab some water if you'd like. You're not my prisoner. You don't have to wait for that little cue just in case. I'm not sure if my coffee is off screen or off whatever it's called, but I'm going to grab some. All right. So now that we've done that, again, just building on what we've already done, we're going to kind of take it into a more like stretchy-ish approach. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Down dog. And then we'll start winding down a little bit. So down dog, good. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold, just like we've done lots of times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Press up, just like normal. Now, exhale, drinking bird. Reach your hands back. Lift your heels. Okay. Now, just because we are on our toes does not mean that we are not using our toes. So grab with your toes, like we've already done. Find that pressing standing motion. We're still doing it. And even though you're sitting and maybe you're even going lower, like I am, keep that pushing motion. Reach your fingers away from your head. Be mindful of the back arch here. It's not super terrible for you, but if you notice that it's pinching your back, just find a slight lift of your ribs, squeeze of your ribs. Okay. Inhale, mountain, stand all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, left leg to the back like we did. But now instead of back knee up, back knee down. Cool. Take your right foot a little bit further up, just like a little half of a toe's worth, and then a little to the right. Good. Press into your foot, press into your back shin. Now my toes are tucked like down dog, but you can have upward dog toes. Inhale, crescent moon or kneeling crescent or whatever you want to call this. And just for a moment, maybe you don't even worry about the arms. Take your hand on your leg, just stretch it forward. Maybe that doesn't feel good. You could also do sideways. Maybe you do a little twist. Yeah, just get used to doing this shape. I'm gonna do this because I feel a little tight here today. A little tight in my back too. I've kind of been, healing. So haven't been doing much moving. But now come back to the middle. So not too much to the front leg, not too much to the back leg, just right there in between. You're still pressing into your legs. So you feel your hips kind of lock into your pelvis. Reach outwards through your arms and your waist, just like a regular crescent lunge, but now you're kneeling. Okay, take a breath in. And exhale, twist to your front leg, which should be right. So left hand to the right knee, or you can keep your arms to a T. Be mindful here. Sometimes we tend to lean forward to create space here. Keep your chest pretty lifted. You don't have to twist all the way to the side. Okay. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, half splits, hands to the mat. Grab a couple blocks or shimmy your foot a little more forward, straighten through your leg. Now, anytime we do a hamstring stretch, we don't have to have this leg straight. Okay, the goal here is to stretch your hamstring. Very angry bird. Stretch your hamstring, and that's different for everyone. So maybe you're bent, your knee is really bent, and you're still trying to straighten your leg, but that's a good point for you to stop. Then, that's okay to stop. Couple more breaths here. And chest forward. Good. Inhale, come forward to your kneeling crescent. Exhale, forward fold. Hands down, step to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step your other leg back, right leg back. Good, back knee down. Left toe slightly up and out. Inhale, kneeling crescent. And then again, just get used to it. Maybe you do the lunging, maybe you add a twist here or the side bend. Great. Once you feel pretty even, just right in the middle. Dig into your front leg like you're trying to stand up. Dig into your back leg. Good. Extend out through the bottom of your belly button. Lift it all the way up. Big breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand goes to your outer knee, or you can keep it lifted. And remember, you don't have to find this exact shoulders. Oh, am I doing something? Shoulders to the side. Just get into a twist where you can keep your shoulders on top of your hips. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, forward fold, hands down, press really hard into your foot, step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank to low plank, or you can go straight to downward dog. Inhale, upward dog, only if you did low plank. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Now we're gonna stretch a little bit. Inhale, right leg up. First time we're doing it, actually. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Just take a second. Stretch from the top of your right knee all the way towards the top of your left armpit. Let your head drop. Good. Take a breath in. Exhale, half pigeon. Get your shin bone forward behind your wrists, like you're making the number 7 with your leg. Lower your knees, uncurl your back toes. Now, especially if you sit a lot, Stay upright for a little bit. Focus on the left hip. Find a nice lifting through your chest. You don't have to crank your chest back, just lift it, right? And for me, maybe this isn't feeling too good on your knee, but I love this. But if you're not feeling it for your knee, you can roll onto your right leg. Instead of having the back one straight, tuck it in so they're both bent. Yeah. And if you would like to start getting into the right glute, walk your hands forward, see how that feels. Walk your hands a little bit more forward, see how that feels. Maybe you drop your elbows. Maybe you go a little further. Just play with it, see what works. Leave what doesn't. Remember, everything is buildable. All right, so I am a little sorry because I totally forgot a half splits on the other side, but we'll get there, don't worry. We'll get a little bit different of a transition just so you can see what happens. Now, sometimes when we're stretching our hips, yes, it is obviously a physical sensation and we are actually stretching our muscles, but the deeper we get into this, maybe you feel other parts of your body starting to be affected, like your shoulders or your face, or maybe even your fingers. So as you continue to breathe here, use your inhales as this way to kind of draw in light, healing, warmth, compassion, gratitude, and use it as a sort of icy hot patch on your butt or wherever else you're feeling this. And then use your exhales to suck out all that other lame stuff. Maybe it is black in color, and you just release that out of your body. So every time you breathe in, right, you're adding more of that amazing, nice, warmth, healing, love stuff. And when you exhale, you're expelling all of that nasty other stuff. Maybe that other stuff is physical feelings. Maybe it's self-talk that isn't really productive. Last breath. Inhale, press up onto your palms. Good. Down dog is typically where we go for our transitions, but since we are going to do our hamstring stretch, just roll over onto your right leg, swing your left leg around to the front, put it down. Reach forward, step your right leg back. And maybe that looked a lot smoother than is actually possible. Sorry about that. Just get into the shape. Just left leg is forward, right leg is back now. Half splits, half splits. There's a few different ways you can do this. On the first side, I showed the most common one where your knee, the back knee, is directly underneath the hip. Right now, it's a little forward. And in this position, you can actually sit all the way back onto your foot. Or if you have a block, some sort of cushion, because bending your knee doesn't feel that good, you can use that to elevate through your hips. And again, leg does not have to be straight to stretch it, so just take it how you need it. And just like we did the hip stretch on the right, your body is affected by the other things that you are doing. So check in. Maybe your chest is really hunched up. Find a little bit more softness through your belly. Push your chest forward on an exhale. It doesn't have to be that much, and it's not like, extending out. Just find a lift and an openness. Good. And then we will still do our scorpion dog, that kind of bent knee down dog thing, after our stretch. So just bend your left knee forward, shimmy your toes over to the right. Okay, and then you're in your half pigeon. You can keep your back leg straight, just like it was. Maybe you need a little bit more space. Roll onto your left glute. Tuck your knee in towards the bottom of your heel. So you're in this 90-90 little dancer pose position. Maybe you stay up. And if you're in half pigeon, definitely stay up. In a couple breaths, we will go forward. Maybe you already know you want to go there, just fine. Do what you want. And so nice out here. Like maybe next time I'll have the water behind me instead of these birds, but we'll see. Okay, when you're ready, go forward however much. And if you don't really know how much, just give yourself time to explore, right? So hands are in front of your shin. Maybe you need a few moments there to assess, okay, maybe I can go further or not. And if you can, just do one more hand forward. Okay. If you're good there, forearms, blocks or no blocks. And maybe you go all the way down to your belly. I'm not going to go there, so I'm just going to stay right here. This feels nice today. Right? Just getting back in touch with your body. You've been moving a lot, you've been breathing a lot. Check in with how it feels now. Maybe that spot in your shoulder that you have had aching for a long time is now a little bit less or all the way gone. Maybe it's some other part of your body, or maybe it's just an overall kind of, I don't know how to describe that, but I'm weird, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. You're going to have to deal with it. A few more breaths here. I love doing stuff at the beach because just seeing people in the world, pretty fascinating, to say the least. Okay, this time we're going to stretch through the front of the left thigh. So press into your hands, get them back on the ground. Tuck your back toes like you started, lift your butt. Good, now the left leg, you're going to scoop up and all the way around behind you. Press through your arms. Stretch from the top of your left knee all the way to the top of your right armpit. Good, big breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Cool. And we're just going to do a little bit of chest stuff. So rock forward into your plank, lower to your belly, however you need to get there. Try not to compress this because last time it was a little soft, a little muted. Okay, so we did cobra before, right, with the hands down. This time we're going to do locust. There's two options. I'll just offer the first one first, and then the second one after. Hands behind you to a hover. Excuse me. All right. Same as cobra. Press your hip bones into the surface they're on. Boop. All right. Now, even though we're going to back bend, and technically our belly is going to go forward away from our back, lift your belly to your spine, squeeze your core. Great. Now hands reach in, and as you reach back with your hands, use that to pull your chest up on the inhale. Good. Find a slight tuck of your chin. So not looking forward, but just slightly down and forward. Good. Press into the tops of your feet. If it feels okay for your low back, lift your feet. Reach with your feet. So don't just like lift your legs and have your feet kind of hanging out. Use your legs. Good. Keep your belly plugged in. One more inhale. Exhale, arms out to a T, rested cheek onto your so put onto the mat by your face. Okay. Then roll over onto your right shoulder. Stack your legs on top of each other like a little side plank or like you're standing on your side. Maybe this doesn't feel super stable for you. You have a couple more options. Lift your top leg, bend your knee, place your foot behind your bottom leg. Maybe that doesn't feel good for your back. That's fine. You're going to bend both knees like you're doing sort of a fetal pose, but you're stretching your shoulder. Good. Breathe into your upper chest. It's kind of bright, so I gotta close my eyes a little bit. Even though it's overcast, low-key, I'm worried about getting burned. I didn't wear sunscreen. I know that's sort of controversial, but I think that we should at least be able to be outside for 20 minutes with no sunscreen and not have to worry about getting burnt because, we are living right. Then exposure of our eyes to that low angle sunlight of the morning, the red light, actually helps us be protected from the sun later in the day. Okay, gently roll to your belly, just a little, whatever, left arm to the left. I'm hoping I won't crush you because this mic is on my left lapel, we'll call it. See if you can get a little softer through the side of your head. That's on the mat. Back onto your belly. Press yourself up to your hands and your knees. Good. Walk your knees forward. Sit on your booty. Extend your legs out in front of you. Bend your left knee. Keep your right leg where it is-ish. Maybe you need a little bit support for your legs. If you have blocks or something that you can tuck under each knee, or at least just the left one, go for it. Otherwise, this is good. Inhale, lift your arms up. Push your chest forward, turn to your foot. Exhale, reach forward like you're reaching for a trapeze bar. So find this lift, this extension. Use your toes. Good. Once you accidentally miss your trapeze bar, land safely into the safety net of your Janu Shirshasana, seated separate leg, forehead to knee. You can take this into a side body stretch if you really need it. Otherwise, face your chest pretty much square to the ground. So instead of having yourself tilted, it's pretty centered. And maybe reaching for your leg doesn't feel the best. You can also reach to the inside of your leg or in between both legs. Just see what works for you. That's basically our whole yoga practice, is seeing what works for you. But also, not being afraid to challenge yourself, whether that's pushing yourself past what you think you can do, or if you always do that, then giving yourself time to rest or find a little bit more nurturing and softness, because you don't have to earn your rest. One more breath. I'm doing this pretend rap in my head. All right, now we're going to use our legs. So first, push into the ground with your legs. Arms to a hover. Inhale, rise up. Good. With or without your hands, exhale, switch your legs. Left leg out, right leg in. Good. Use your toes. Flex or point, whatever you like to do, but do something so it's not just there. Okay, turn your chest. Inhale, lift and reach. Look at your trapeze bar on the horizon. Exhale, reach, 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 keep reaching, and then accidentally fall into your amazing Janu Shirshasana. And again, find a little bit more heaviness through the right side now so that you are pretty squared to the ground, unless you are intentionally opening up to the side. And again, just find that spot for your leg, for your hamstring, where you can comfortably get there and breathe. Just look at all these little shells around me. And I'm like, dang, these used to be creatures. Pretty cool though. Last breath. Okay, push into your legs. Reach your hands out. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down, legs out. Scoot a little bit forward. Lay onto your back. Whee! All right. Oh man, I just kicked sand into my face. God. All right. Anyway, plant your feet onto the mat. We're gonna do this little bit of kind of spinal moving extension. So we'll start with our arms. Ooh, I got sand all up in me. Start with your arms over your head like a laying down mountain pose. Your hips are down, your feet are down. Good. Before we do anything, lifting wise, push into your feet like you are going to lift your hips, but they will stay on the ground. Firm your back hip bones, so the ones that are on the ground right now, into the ground. You're digging through your heels, you're pressing your back hip bones down. Good. Now, by the time we reach our hips to their fullest height, our hands are going to be moving down towards our sides. So take a breath in. Exhale, lift your hips, lower your arms at the same time. Try to touch your hands by the time your hips reach their peak height. And inhale, lower everything down, opposite. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Your arms will have to move a little faster than you think they will. Exhale, hips up, arms down. And then we'll pause right here. Press into your heels still. Grip into the mat with your toes. Maybe you need a little bit more space for your knees or your quads. Lift onto your tippy toes. Okay, and now instead of hip thrusting with your butt straight up, reach your top of butt forward to backs of knees. Can't even say knees. Knees. There we go. Big breath in. And then just the hips, exhale lower to the mat. Find a Supta Baddha. Actually, don't do that. No Supta. Just stay here for a moment. Let yourself digest the pose. And notice that if you are inclined to move, notice why that is. It's okay to feel stillness. It's okay to let stuff in, even if it's unpleasant. Well, now, Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart. Place your hands where they need to go, and notice where they do go. Sometimes we don't really know what's going on in our bodies, or we don't have a name for it, but we have our body language as clues to what's going on. One more deep breath. Okay, gently collect your knees to your chest. Bring your knees, towards your chest. Arms out to a T with your palms face down. We're just going to get a little bit more into the back, and then we'll be in our Shavasana. So, take a breath in. Lower your knees to the left. They don't have to go all the way down. Just get them down to where they need to go. Use your full exhale to go all the way to the right. Now, if you're going really fast over to the right, is that really how long your exhale is, or can you go slower? Good. Inhale all the way back to the left. One inhale only. Exhale all the way to the right. Okay. Maybe if it feels okay in your neck, you can do opposite chin. Opposite chin. Opposite way of your legs look. We got a couple more of these. You can use your hands as a little bit of leverage to slow down, maybe get a little bit of a core in there. Once you get your legs all the way back to the right, because we started on the left, so we're ending on the right, get knees back to the middle, wrap yourself up into a little ball, give yourself a big hug, and say, thanks, body. Thanks, self. I love you. I appreciate you. Big breath in, squeeze. Exhale, Shavasana. Settle out how it makes sense for you. Shavasana doesn't always have to be laying down. It's just a position where you can release for a few minutes and become a little more introspective, a little more reflective. And for these next few minutes, give yourself the time and the space to meet whatever is in your brain, your heart, your soul, whatever you want to be dealing with. I'll let you know when it's time. If you have found a space that you would like to enjoy a little longer, please allow yourself to stay. There's no rush. If you are ready to continue, start extending your breath every time you do it. And kind of like the waves lapping at the shore, let your breath kind of lap at the borders of your body. And the longer you breathe, the longer your breath becomes, and the more extended it becomes. Once you feel like that wave, ocean, water, whatever thing you're thinking of, extends to the rest of your body, and you feel pretty awake, you feel pretty in your body, then reach your toes out, spread them out. Do the same with your fingers. Maybe you reach your arms over your head, full body extension. Pick one of your sides, roll onto it, fetal pose. Just a moment to experience this physical embodiment of a new beginning, a new cycle. Press yourself up to a seat. Close your eyes, sit up tall, place your hands where they want to go. Thanks so much for joining me today, for sharing your practice, your breath, your space, and for really just giving yourself a shot at moving your body around. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bow forward, still in your practice. Thank you so much. And congrats on finishing your, oh, some crows, on finishing your beginner class with me. Yoga practice is really just an unfolding. The more you do it, the more you discover, the more that you realize you don't even know, but stick with it. We're having a new schedule for YouTube. So I'm aiming to post 3 days a week, and each day has a different theme. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, um, I think fitness videos. I'm going to be doing Fitness Friday, but I'll have a video explaining all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please subscribe if you jibe.